If you crave the raw, the remote, and the mysterious, stay with us. Beyond the well-trodden paths and bustling cities, there exists another America, a land of immense, silent spaces where nature remains the dominant force and human history is but a whisper on the wind. These are places that demand respect, that challenge the body and stir the soul. They hold stories of survival, whispers of ancient spirits, and the profound beauty that can only be found in true, untamed wilderness. This is a travel guide for those who prefer to explore the unexplored. We'll show things to do, unique traditions. Our first destination takes us far to the north, beyond the familiar comforts of civilization, to a realm governed by ice and light. Hidden above the Arctic Circle in Alaska lies the gates of the Arctic National Park and Preserve. This is not a park in the conventional sense. There are no roads, no trails, no visitor centers. It is 8.5 million acres of pure, unadulterated wilderness, a vast kingdom of silence and scale that can feel like stepping onto another planet. Immense, glacier-carved valleys are flanked by jagged peaks. The very air feels different, crisp, clean, and ancient. To travel here is to accept the land on its own terms, to move with its rhythms, governed by the endless daylight of the Arctic summer or the profound darkness of its long winter. For the intrepid traveler, the activities here are as fundamental as the land itself. Multi-day backpacking trips are the most common way to experience this place, navigating by map and compass across the open tundra. You'll find yourself fording icy glacial rivers. The ground beneath your feet is a soft, springy carpet of mosses and lichens. From the frozen expanse of the north, our journey now takes us south, to the high desert of northeastern Nevada. Here, tucked away in one of the most isolated corners of the contiguous United States, lies the Garbage Wilderness. Its name, derived from the Shoshone word Jahabich, is said to mean devil or weird creature. It is a fitting name for a place steeped in spooky legends and defined by its dramatic, imposing geology. This is a land of stark contrasts. Steep, formidable canyons, carved by the Garbage River over millions of years, fall away from high plateaus covered in sagebrush and aspen groves. The landscape feels rugged, almost confrontational, with a raw beauty that is both intimidating and deeply alluring. The remoteness here is palpable. The journey in, often along winding and precarious dirt roads, is an adventure in itself, a gradual shedding of the modern world. The lore of Garbage is as much a part of the landscape as the rocks and rivers. It is a place that has long been associated with the mysterious. Local Shoshone legends speak of a giant, cannibalistic creature that once roamed these canyons. Later, the area became a magnet for prospectors, and with them came tales of lost gold mines, sudden disappearances, and the lingering ghosts of those who sought their fortune and found only tragedy. To explore Garbage is to walk through these stories. The air itself seems to hold a certain weight, a sense of history and mystery. As you hike the challenging backcountry trails, you might hear the wind whistling through the rock formations and wonder if it carries the echo of a miner's lament or something older, more primal. Mysterious howls are sometimes reported, their source never quite identified, adding another layer to the area's enigmatic reputation. The primary draw for the modern adventurer is the network of trails that crisscross the wilderness. Chapter 3. Our journey continues westward to Washington State, home to a range of mountains so dramatic and magnificent they are often called the American Alps. This is North Cascades National Park, a breathtaking collection of jagged peaks, ice-crowned peaks, deep forested valleys, and more glaciers than any other park in the United States outside of Alaska. It is a landscape that feels both ancient and intensely alive. Unlike many national parks, much of the North Cascades remains startlingly wild and undeveloped. While a single scenic highway, the Cascade Loop, cuts through a portion of the park complex, the vast majority of its interior is a roadless wilderness, accessible only to the most determined hikers and climbers. This has preserved its raw alpine character, creating a sanctuary for both wildlife and solitude. The defining features of this park are its mountains and its ice. Over 300 glaciers cling to the peaks, constantly grinding and shaping the rock beneath them. They are the lifeblood of the region, their summer melt feeding countless turquoise-colored lakes and thunderous waterfalls that cascade down the valley walls. For the adventurous, the park offers a vertical world to explore. Glacier trekking, best undertaken with an experienced guide and proper equipment, allows one to walk upon these ancient rivers of ice. The experience is otherworldly, a journey across a frozen alien landscape of crevasses and seracs. For those who prefer to stay on solid ground, the park is laced with trails that lead to spectacular viewpoints and high alpine meadows. In the summer months, these meadows explode with color. Chapter 4. We now travel to the heart of the continent, to the largest freshwater lake in the world, Lake Superior. Here, surrounded by its cold, deep waters, lies a place that feels entirely separate from the mainland, Isle Royale National Park. Getting to Isle Royale is the first part of the adventure. There are no bridges, no roads connecting it to the mainland. Access is limited to seasonal ferries, seaplanes, private boats, a journey that can take several hours across the often unpredictable waters of Lake Superior. This enforced isolation is the very essence of the park's character. The island is most famous for its unique wildlife dynamic, the long-studied relationship between moose and wolves. Scientists have monitored these two species for decades. Spotting a wolf is exceedingly rare, but their presence is felt. Wolf tracks in the mud, a distant howl at twilight, and the island's ecology shaped by their presence. Moose are a more common sight, wading in shallow bays, browsing on vegetation. The primary way to experience the interior is on foot. The Greenstone Ridge Trail, a 40-mile path that runs along the island's central spine, is the park's main artery. Backpacking this trail is a multi-day commitment through dense boreal forests over rocky ridges, with expansive views and past quiet inland lakes. The waters offer a different exploration, paddling by canoe, paddling by kayak between outlying islands. This gives access to hidden coves and secluded campsites. Beneath the cold, clear water lies another world, remarkably preserved shipwrecks. Chapter 5. For our final destination, we venture into the vast, sun-drenched landscapes of southern Utah. Here lies the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, a colossal and complex territory of rock and light. It is not a single feature, but a sprawling labyrinth of canyons, plateaus, bizarre geological formations. It stretches across nearly 2 million acres of remote, arid land. The name Grand Staircase refers to the series of massive geological steps, or cliffs that descend from Bryce Canyon, south towards the Grand Canyon. Each layer reveals a different chapter of Earth's history. Escalante refers to the intricate network of canyons carved by the Escalante River. Together they form a landscape of immense scale and complexity, a maze of stone that challenges and captivates. This is a world-renowned destination for canyoneering. The monument is famous for its slot canyons, impossibly narrow fissures in the sandstone sculpted by millennia of flash floods. To explore them is to enter another world. Light filters down from above, painting the curving, water-polished walls in shifting hues. Scrambling, wading, sometimes rappelling. Each passage is intimate and exhilarating. But these beautiful canyons hold a significant danger. The region is prone to sudden violent thunderstorms, even miles away, which can send a terrifying wall of water rushing through the narrow passages with no warning. Flash floods are the most serious threat here. Respect weather forecasts and local conditions. Beyond the slots, the monument is a treasure trove of paleontological riches. The same geological layers have preserved an incredible record of the late Cretaceous period. This was one of the last great dinosaur ecosystems on Earth, and scientists keep uncovering fossils of previously unknown species. For the curious visitor, fossil spotting is a fascinating treasure hunt. Outro. Our journey through the unexplored corners of America comes to a close, but the spirit of these wild places endures. From the Arctic silence of Alaska to the stone labyrinth of Utah, we have seen that true wilderness still exists. It is challenging, sometimes dangerous, and profoundly beautiful. These are not just locations on a map. They are invitations to step beyond the familiar and discover a deeper connection with the natural world and with ourselves. If you enjoyed this guide, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more hidden places. Thank you for joining us on this expedition.